Hey gang, it's Matt. Once again, we're out at the oak camp and it's an absolutely wonderful day. It's still kind of warm for Central Florida, but a nice cool breeze blowing. I'm doing some work on the bushcraft base camp, but you're not going to get to see that. That's going to be exclusive content from my Discord group and my Discord subscribers. So if you want to see what I'm doing on the bushcraft base camp, hit the link below in the description and join the Discord page. Join our discussion on the Discord page. But today, we're going to look at a great piece of equipment that I got, and it is this. It is the USGI military poncho. This is the real McCoy. It's not the USGI type. It's not the USGI style. It is the real USGI, and it's got the tag inside to prove it. Now, not saying there's anything wrong with the type and the style and the other knockoffs like the Helicon and like I think One Wind makes some pretty good ponchos, but this is the real one. You guys know how I like military equipment. And I wanted, if I was going to have a U.S. military poncho, it was going to be the real U.S. military poncho. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you some of the best uses for this. And I'm going to show you some really, really cool setups, how you can use it as a tarp. There's a lot of other videos on that, but none are going to be as good as mine. So stay tuned and let's check out the USGI military poncho. Okay, so probably the first best use of the military poncho is as a poncho, in case you get caught in the rain or wet weather situation or an inconvenient weather day, like the weather guys out of Orlando like to say. Here's the poncho, here's the hood, it's got the drawstring around the hood, and what we're going to do is we're just going to throw it on and use it like a poncho. So all right, that works pretty good. It's got snaps right here, and it's got snaps all the way down the sides. So what you do is you kind of get it together around your arm, and then you just snap it together, and it kind of makes a sleeve. So here's the other side. And there's that side. Where's the other side? Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. So snaps together, and the snaps work both ways. All right. There's snaps on the inside and the outside. So you could put 2 of these tarps together, or 3 or 4 of these tarps together, and now you have sleeves, and it stays on. I feel like Vanna White turning letters. And when it gets raining, you could close the hood, put the drawstring up, and you're not really going to get wet. However, this thing is rubberized, okay? And I can already feel it heating up in there, and I haven't been doing anything except screwing around. So while you're not going to get rain soaked, you're probably going to get pretty sweaty if you're wearing this in a rain situation. It's plenty big enough on the back side. You can put it over a backpack, and it just works great. So let's go see how we can use this as a shelter. Okay, so here we go with the U.S. military poncho laid out on the ground, and you can see that it's not exactly square. It's kind of rectangular. I think the dimensions are something like 80 by 60 or, like 84 by 63 or something like that. I'll try to put them on the exact measurements on the video, but you see it's got the hood in the middle, and it's not exactly square. It's kind of rounded on the sides. That's so it fits you a little bit better as a poncho. But you can make an excellent quick rain shelter or a nice little bushcraft shelter out of this really, really quickly. We got our orange ridge line already strung up there with a couple of prussigs, and let's get into a couple of shelter setups. Okay, probably the easiest and quickest setup is just using the simple lean-to. So I got 2 prussigs in the line and I got 2 toggles, and we're just going to set up a lean-to tarp. Put our prussig through there. Put our toggle through. Got our other prussig through here. Put our other toggle through. Tighten up on the ridgeline. Got 2 stakes. And just stake out the back corner. Ta-da! Okay, really easy. Sets up in like 3 minutes. Just string a ridge line, hook it to 2 of the long corners, and then stake out 2 of the back sides. You could also fly out the back sides to lift this up, or you could also string a line around the hood and pull it back, and you can get a lot more room if you tied the hood back, okay? But I ain't got no tree behind me, so we're not gonna do that today. So this is the flat tarp style. Let's go to an A-frame. All right, second cool setup is a quick and easy plow point. You got your ridge line tied to the tree, and you got a prussig on it, hopefully. Just take one of the long corners of the poncho, hook it to the prussig, okay? Put your toggle through, okay? Pull it up a little. Now, you just got to stretch the other side out. So let's do that. Okay, now we're just going to get the opposite corner. And we're going to stake out the opposite corner. Make sure the poncho is right side out. Now just stake out the other corner. There you go. The Plow Point shelter. Makes a pretty good shelter. Pretty quick, pretty easy. Okay. Pretty good amount of room in there. You can see that I don't have the hood all tied off or anything like that. This is just a shelter. If it's gonna rain, you might want to tie that hood up and stuff so water doesn't leak in there. But let's get in here and see how much room we got. Okay, this isn't bad. If you had a tree on the other side, or you had a branch hanging, you could always throw a line over it and tie the hood up, and it would give you considerably more room inside. But I don't really care if it's raining or something. You know, this would totally protect you from the rain. One thing that you got to watch out for when you do this type of shelter is you got to put it pointing in the direction that the wind's blowing. If you put it this way and the wind's coming this way, it's gonna be bad times. So let's go check out one more. All right, this seems to be everyone's favorite. This is one of my least favorite types of shelters. This is gonna be the A-frame, very close to the ground. You have to really lower your ridge line. This is about thigh height. And all I did was I just put my prussig into the middle grommet on each side. And now we're just gonna stake out the sides. Stake out the corners, I should say. All right, now we've made an A-frame. Now let's see if I can get my ass in there. All right, I'm going in. Okay. This works, but this sucks. It would totally keep you dry. You could, if you had a ground sheet, you could camp in here. But it's very low to the ground. You ain't gonna get wet if you have this type of pitch. But it totally works. So let's go and talk about what we learned today. Okay, what did we learn today? We learned that that last one almost got me. Man, it's still warm today, but I happen to bring some water. So we learned that those are just a few of the pitch types that you can do with the U.S. military poncho. And I ain't saying that the U.S. military style or the U.S. military type or the Helicons or the One Winds or the cheap ones off of Amazon. I'm not saying that those are no good. I'm just saying that there is a place for a poncho like a USGI military poncho in everyone's kit. It can be really, really handy. Use it as a poncho, use it as a quick shelter. You notice in all of these, I didn't screw around with tying the hood back, and you totally could have tied the hood back. You could have tied a line around it and hung it from a tree and pulled it back and created a lot more room in all of those shelters, except the little low to the ground A-frame. Man, I'm getting too old for that. But this is a really, really cool poncho. Thanks to my brother for giving me the poncho. He didn't like it for some reason. He wanted me to make him up a quick deploy ridgeline, and he traded me that for the poncho. So I think I got the best part of the trade. But so thanks to my brother for giving me the poncho. This is going to be a permanent part of my kit, along with a 5x7 tarp, or maybe the Harbor Freight 8x7 tarp, 8x10 tarp, I should say. But I think this paired with a 5x7 tarp will do all of the warm weather stuff that I needed to do. Keep the rain off me, you know, give me a nice little shelter, give me a ground sheet that I can lay on. And I think that this is going to work out really, really good, and it's going to be a permanent part of all my kits. So with my short and sweet review of the USGI military poncho, once again, this is Matt the Old Florida Boy, and I will see you on the trail.